All right, so the topic of rose in fragrances has always been an interesting one because not a lot of people, or well, like not a lot of guys that I know like floral fragrances, but I love neroli, I love jasmine, but rose has to be one of my favorite notes, especially when it comes to floral notes anyway in my fragrances. And because I think I love it the most because like it can be manipulated in multiple ways. Like it can be used, you know, like as a very versatile scent, you know what I mean, like as a versatile note rather. And it can also be used like as something that's a bit more daring. Okay, so you know, like I've got a fair few fragrances that I have here, man, where they've used rose very beautifully and kind of made it, you know, smell quite unique, some versatile, some clean, some a bit darker and daring. So hey man, without further ado, man, let's talk about some rose-based fragrances. What's going on, beautiful people? I'm your boy TK, man, once again with another edition of Smelling and Telling Great Fragrances, man. And today I've got a few fragrances that I have that I wanted to talk about, man, that have the note of rose. I really do love, you know, floral fragrances, but rose I feel like is one of the most easiest notes for a guy to pull off because it's so sexy, man. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing more sexier than a guy that knows how to pull off a nice floral fragrance, especially when it's got rose. Let's get right to it, guys. So the first fragrance I actually want to talk about, man, is a fragrance that I actually asked for it to be sent to me by my good friends over at feelingsexy.com.au. Once again, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for sending me this through because I did have a little sample of it, but it finished up, man. But I really love the wearing experience of this one. It's a very clean, invigorating rose fragrance, you know, and it's a very masculine rose, man. So, but however, anyone can wear, you know, this type of rose, okay? But with this fragrance right here, I feel like it's a very clean, inoffensive rose. And I'm talking about this one right here from the house of MFK. And this is L'Homme à la Rose, and I love this one already, or as the French would say, Jesus Christ, L'Homme à la Rose, L'Homme à la Rose, L'Homme à la Rose, L'Homme à la Rose. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, but this fragrance right here, man, is going to be a very inoffensive, masculine, clean, fresh, invigorating rose, man, that seems to just give me more life, man. I just love the wearing experience of this overall. It's very clean, it's inoffensive. You can wear this one like in the office. Like you can get away with this one, man, in, you know, like a lot of situations, okay? So it's one of those, you know, blind reaches or like just a dumb reach where I don't really have to think too much about it. I just grab and go. And I know what to expect from this fragrance, man, because what I'm going to be getting is a nice wearing experience where we have, you know, that rose. We've got two types of rose in this actually. We've got some May rose and some Damascus rose, I believe. In the top, we've got like some bergamot and some grapefruit and some woodier notes as well too that are in the base that give it a bit of backbone. But overall, man, it's a nice, clean, fresh, aromatic rose scent, man, that I feel like for you guys out there, man, that want something that's, you know, inoffensive, but something that's slightly floral. This is definitely the one to go, man, from the house of MFK, man. This is L'Homme à la Rose. Going on to the other end, okay, when we're talking about a rose now, this fragrance right here, I love and adore, man, but this one is a beast. This fragrance right here is going to be for the people that are willing to experience rose, but in a more daring way. With that being said, what I mean is, when you're experiencing rose, you can either experience it in a nice, clean, fresh way, or it can be used in a dark, you know, daring way, because there's so many fragrances, man, that I know that have rose that are quite jammy, quite harsh, you know, or well, not really harsh, but, you know, that are just a little bit heavy and dense and thick, okay? So now this one right here is definitely something that I can describe to be as dense, heavy, and thick, because this fragrance right here, the way that they use rose is in such a beautiful but sexy way, but you have to be, you know, a very confident person, because this one right here will attract all the smoke. I'm talking about this one right here from MFK again. This one is called Oud Satin Mood, and it is a banger, man. I'm telling you, this fragrance right here, it is just classy, it's sexy, it's seductive. Now, in this one as well too, just like L'Homme à la Rose, this one does have two types of roses as well too. So it's got some Bulgarian rose, I believe, and some Turkish rose, okay? I just had to check right here. But Bulgarian rose and some Turkish rose. It's got some violet, the agarwood, and the vanilla as well too. But however, man, the vanilla is just there like as a nice supporting note, because like the oud isn't like too barnyardy, okay? So the vanilla kind of gives it a nice cushion, also giving, like, you know, the rose a little bit of light to shine through as well too. So I love the way that they've kind of composed this scent, man, and making it what it is. But overall, man, a lot of people do say that this smells a little bit, you know, older. Like I've heard people that say, oh, it kind of smells like a bit, I don't want to say, but a little bit like old lady. But I'm telling you right now, man, if I ever smelled an old lady wearing this, man, she's one sexy ass mama, because this smells super, super sexy, man. And I feel like, once again, you have to make sure that you're confident enough to rock a fragrance like this right here. So, man, from the house of Oud Satin, not from the house of Oud Satin Mood, from the house of MFK, this is Oud Satin Mood. God damn. Another fragrance, man, that I actually want to just touch on, man, is a fragrance that I got about a year and a bit ago, or about 2 years, ever since I started working with feelingsexy.com.au. So they just started sending me like a few fragrances, just kind of feel, and smell, like, especially like when it came to fragrances that have the note of rose. And I kind of wanted to give something for the ladies as well too. So this one right here, man, is perfect for the ladies. It's a bit jammy, but it's sexy, it's sweet, it's beautiful, man. From the house of Lancôme, this is Oud Bouquet. Now this one right here, man, it's beautiful, man, because it's got praline, okay? So some praline, some vanilla as well too, that rose, that oud, but the oud that's in here, man, is very subtle, okay? But however, I must say, okay, they kind of gave, the rose in this edition of Oud Bouquet, a little bit of more limelight, to say, because in the previous Oud Bouquet by Lancôme, it's more sweet. The praline and the vanilla is so prominent in this one, well, in the previous version of this one, because this is a reformulation. But in my nose, man, I feel like this one right here is definitely more wearable, especially if you don't like syrupy sweet fragrances, because this one is just perfectly balanced. It's got the oud, the rose, the praline. It's beautiful, man. I really do love the wearing experience of this one. And I do feel like with this one too, man, it's got like a certain mysteriousness to it, because when you wear it, it leaves a massive scent bubble, okay? Like just like Oud Satin Mood. Sorry, my voice is cracking, man. I've been eating too many bananas or something. For me to wear a fragrance like this and Oud Satin Mood, the weather has to be a little bit more colder. But however, I do feel like everyone and anyone should wear fragrances whenever that they like. Yeah, cool. But it's just my personal preference. I like to wear these kind of fragrances in the colder weather, or even like at night as well too. I feel like it's really when it shines, man. So perfect for date night, man. If you're a lady that likes rose, vanilla, praline, slightly sweet but not overly sweet, this is definitely going to be the fragrance for you, man. So from the house of Oud Bouquet, once again, I've done it again. From the house of Lancôme, this is Oud Bouquet. Now, changing things up a little bit, man. So we kind of started off fresh, okay? Went a little bit dark and mysterious. Now we're going around in the middle a little bit, because this one right here, man, is a beautiful, beautiful scent that I love and adore, because this one right here has got the note of coffee. Look, man, I work in a cafe, man, and I absolutely love to drink black coffee. I love, long black / Americanos for my American friends out there. Black coffees for me, man. And this fragrance right here has got that note of coffee, with that rose and a little bit of vanilla as well too. It's beautiful, man. And this was from the house of Montal, and this is Intense Cafe. Rose, coffee, vanilla, some floral musk, some amber, some of the notes, to name a few, that are in this fragrance right here. But overall, man, I really do love the way that this one smells, man. And to me, man, I've gotten a fair few, people that actually say that this smells a little bit more feminine. But to be honest, man, it's a great fragrance, man, that I feel like is perfectly unisex, because this one isn't too overly sweet, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like the coffee isn't like overbearing. Like there's some coffee fragrances like that I've smelled, okay, that have, that coffee note, right, and have like too much vanilla. It's just not quite blended right. But this one right here has got a sexiness about it, man. Like the rose that's in here, the coffee, the vanilla, the amber, the musks, they all come together quite well, man, and making this one such an enjoyable wearing experience. And to my nose, man, the coffee in here, man, is another really prominent note in here as well too. Like you can definitely smell it. Like, I feel like some people might go, oh, yeah, not really. But what I urge you to do, right, if you don't believe me, go and get yourself, an espresso, right, or like even like a ristretto shot, like from a cafe. Wear this one, or put it like on your hand, and then imagine that coffee with some crushed rose petals in it. This is what you're gonna get, and a little bit more vanilla as well too. This is what you get, man. It's gonna be a very delicious concoction, you know what I mean, that makes a massive cloud bubble, man. This one is a very, very strong fragrance, guys. So you gotta make sure, man, that when you're wearing this one right here, wear this one with caution, man. I don't go more than 4 sprays. I'm such an oversprayer, okay? I spray way too much. But with this one right here, man, I was gonna make sure that I watch for the people that are around me, man. So 4 to 5 sprays, more than enough. But this fragrance, man, is beautiful, man, and I love the rose that's in here, man. Just to name a few fragrances, man, that I love with a note of rose, but this one right here is definitely a winner in my eyes, from the house of Montal. This is Intense Cafe. Moving on, guys, gonna go back to those daring rose-based fragrances. Well, I guess fragrances that have rose in them, but that are a little bit more daring, okay? So now with this one right here, man, it's a beautiful find. It's hard to get, but I just want to mention it anyway if it is available available to you anyway, or if you had the chance to actually get this fragrance right here. I'm talking about this beautiful gem right here from the house of Dior. This is Dior Homme Parfum, and this fragrance is beautiful, man. Rose, leather, oud, you know, iris, a bit of lavender as well too, a little bit of sweetness in there. Man, it smells very rich, it smells very put together, but above all, it smells sexy. Now guys, when it comes to a fragrance like Dior Homme Parfum, you have to make sure that you're very confident, man, because this fragrance right here, when you put this on, it's going to be like a bomb, okay? It's going to make this massive, I'm telling you, man, it fills a room, okay? Every time that I've worn this one right here, people can smell me. They're like, oh my God, you smell amazing. But for me, a little bit more on like the polarizing side, maybe because I overspray sometimes. Maybe I go like maybe 4 to 5 sprays. 3 is more than enough, okay? Just 3 on the neck and that's it. Because I'm telling you right now, I wore this one to an event not too long before COVID started again here. I wore like 5 to 6 sprays. Everyone, I got into a room and they're like, oh my God, man, you smell great. Like, what is that? Who's that? Like, who just walked in? It was me. I knew it was me, okay? I didn't say, it's me, but it introduces you before you say anything about yourself. I'm telling you right now, it actually comes into a room before you do, so just beware of that. But overall, man, I feel like it's a very sexy scent, very sensual, okay, if you minimize your applications, but it's beautiful, man, especially when you're like at a very, very special occasion, rather, you know, you want to make a statement. It's very much a statement making fragrance. So one word with caution, know the amount of smoke that you're going to be getting when you wear a fragrance like this, because you get hate, okay, hate with this fragrance. And I also need you guys to know that it's got a little bit of rose, but it's sexy as well too. So anyway, great fragrance if you can find it, okay? It is a little bit harder to find nowadays, but when you do find it, man, cherish it, because I love me my Dior Homme Parfum. This fragrance right here smells like Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. For the fraction of the price, is more masculine, and is from the house of Issey Miyake, and this one is called En Sens. And I love this juice so much, man, because this one is when I want to feel a little bit more masculine, you know, like on those days when I want to smell like Oud Satin Mood but slightly different, okay? Because this one right here, what it does give you, as I said, it gives you that incensey, you know, slightly smoky but rosy kind of a feel to it, which is definitely a masculine feel, but it's a great combination because it's got leather as well too in the base and some wood. So it's a great fragrance, man, overall. I think it's got some vetiver as well. I'm not too sure, but it does give off a very masculine and mature offering as well too. And the wearing experience of this, man, is quite beautiful, because every time that I've worn this one, I've gotten compliments, man. Like, it literally, like, man, like the bubble that it makes around me, like when I wear it, it's beautiful, man. Like, literally, people can smell me when they like come into like my vicinity. It's amazing, and it makes for a beautiful date night scent as well too. So it's another sexy, sensual scent that I believe is a little bit more toned down from most of the other ones that I've talked about, apart from L'Homme à la Rose. But it's a great fragrance, man. If you can't find this one, definitely go and get this one, Golden Spice or En Sens from the house of Issey Miyake. You will not be disappointed. There you have it, guys. I could have added a little bit more on this list, but I want to save it for later videos as well too, because I've got another, actually I've got a fair few fragrances actually that are coming from, you know, other places, you know what I'm saying? I got a little more things in the books, man, that I want to tell you guys about, man. Exciting things, but a lot more fragrances that also have a rose in them as well that I want to touch on in later videos. So I'll talk about those fragrances at another time, but I hope you guys like this little list that I had for you guys here, for those of you guys that actually like rose but don't know what to go and get. So I appreciate you guys for watching this fragrance review once again. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Show your boy some love, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one, man. I love you. Mwah.